This is Diana Sullivan in Austin, Texas, and now I'm going to do a full needle rib version of English rib, also called half fisherman's rib. Remember that things that you can do on 1x1 rib, you can also do on full needle rib. However, you may have to use a thinner yarn. I have attached 2 yarns to the machine with a clothespin just so that you can see the difference in the thickness. This yarn would be a good thickness for 1x1 English rib, but this thinner yarn is a good thickness for full needle version. Again, using your ribber gives you the opportunity to use a wider range of thicknesses of yarn. Here's the carriage setup for the English rib on the full needle rib needle arrangement. It's just set plain, and then both of the carriages are set on a very tight tension, tighter than 0. Here's a close-up of the zigzag row after I've already put in the comb and hung the 2 weights. Setting up for circular, I'm going to put this on tension 1 and slip to the right, put this on slip to the left, that's that left part button, and tension 1, and knit 3 rows. I'm setting the carriages now for the English rib. The main carriage needs to be plain in tension 3, and the ribber carriage needs to be set for tuck, which means sliding this lever over and leaving this up, in tension 3. And then I just knit a while, and I will be doing English rib where the ribber is the one doing the tuck stitch. I did 20 rows of that. Now I'm going to switch it like I did the other sample. I'm going to make the ribber plain. So I turn both of these off, and I make the main bed do the tucking to the right only by pushing in the right tuck button. And then I'm going to knit another 20 rows. Finally, I set both carriages plain and knit a few rows. Well, now you're thinking, look, she's showing the same thing she showed last time. And that is very true. This full needle rib version of English rib looks just like the 1x1 version. The difference is a matter of scale. This is a much smaller yarn than my 1x1 version was. The first 20 rows are English rib, and I had the ribber tucking. The second 20 rows are English rib, and I had the main bed tucking. The last 10 rows are 1x1 ribbing, just so you could see how much more it pulls in if it's 1x1 ribbing compared to the English rib. Now this is kind of interesting. If I turn this over, you can see that where I had the bumpy side on the back, it's the plain side, and then with the main bed, here's the bumpy, here's the plain. You can make wonderful horizontal stripes and get a reversible blanket this way, or use it for a garment. Again, remember, this is a thick, warm stitch, much, much thicker than you would expect with such a very thin yarn. Now, just for contrast, here is the 1x1 sample. Look how much bigger all of the stitches are. And if I hold this up so that you can see it from the side, look in the difference. Look at the difference in the thickness of the knitting. This is a much heavier garment that you would make from this. So that's how to do English rib with the full needle rib needle arrangement.